What's going on, everybody? Dustin with Black and Gold Pressure Washing here. We just pulled up to our big job for the weekend. We're going to be cleaning the sidewalks and common areas of this building right here. About to strap y'all in and we're going to get going here, so stay tuned, baby. All right, boys, we are in. Let's start with what are we going to start? Let's get our photos for this side right here because my garden hose is going to be in the way, and then we can get the hook up to the water and get going here. So we're basically just getting some before photos, and these will be for social media, and these will also be for our client to see the difference from what it looked like before and what it looked like after. Of course, the sun's hitting it now, and it's not going to be hitting it later when I'm done. So it'll look a little different for them. Okay, I think that's good on these right here. That'll be enough room to get my garden hose connected. I'll show you all how we connect to the water sources on these commercial properties. I'll go ahead and put my boots on too. But basically you need a water key to connect to these commercial jobs. Oh. Need a water key, so that's what I pulled out right here. So this, let me just do the hose as well. This will allow us to turn the water connection on. It's not like a standard house where you just can turn the spigot. You have to have it where it's a key to get in. Of course it does it right here. I'm hoping this job should just be pretty straightforward. Nothing we can't handle. We'll be able to get it done today, so that's the main part. Okay. Now we should have plenty. So basically you take this, let me make a little short out of this as well, just to show people. What's going on, y'all? Dustin with Black and Gold Pressure Washing. I'm filming right now the full process if I was cleaning this building right here, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how we connect to these commercial properties when it comes to the water source. It doesn't have like a standard key that you would see, or you would like turn a nozzle, you know. You need this key right here to go in, so I'm going to show y'all how we do that. Basically, you're just going to insert this key, and then you're able to turn it, and the water will start to come out like that. So it's just a little bit different than what we're normally used to when it comes to like residential properties and stuff, but I figured I could make a quick little clip and show you guys just the different ways that you can connect to water on different sites. So make sure you have one of these keys if you ever go to take on a commercial property, because a lot of the commercial properties have spigots like that. But if you're interested in seeing the full process, go ahead and click down below and catch me on the next job, everybody. Peace. Nice. That was a good little 1 minute short, I think. And y'all caught that on this long form. But yeah, basically we'll just screw this in like a normal hose. But when it comes to turning it on to get the water flowing, we have to use this key right here. So you can hear it turn on. And now it's filling. Okay. And we'll just keep an eye on our tank, because sometimes the flow to from these commercial properties is really heavy. So it'll fill our tank quick. So what we'll do is just monitor it as it flows. Let's walk this property and get some good photos, and then we'll go ahead and start pulling out our hoses and stuff. So we already got photos of this and that. I want to just slowly keep getting some more photos of the common areas. There's a couple bad areas on this property, but it's not as dirty as I thought. My client just acquired this property and they were looking to get it just cleaned so that it starts fresh under their hands, basically. That's what I'm trying to get at. A nice little cleaning so that everybody's happy. So that everybody is happy. And we'll get this from this direction. Boom. Make sure to get these from this angle because this edge is always dirty. Always dirty. And then we'll get the entryway right here, which is going to be bad. And you can see it's green right here. We're basically just trying to highlight the portions of the property that are really bad and are going to see benefits from this cleaning. There's a couple areas here that could definitely use it. And like from here to there. See how it gets bad under this awning here. Just want to make sure we have photos where it's like this. Let's get one just specifically of this green area. Okay. And then what we'll also do is walk around to this other side. I wanted to show you guys this little area over here. We're in Claremont, which is like the hilliest part of Florida. I think is like one of their claim to fames. Let's get this. But basically, I'm gonna show y'all over here how crazy it gets. But see, no sidewalks on this side, so we're good, which is nice. But look at this over here. Y'all say there ain't no hills in Florida, but look at this hill right here. It runs all the way down. I don't know if y'all can tell how far down that is, but I'm gonna make a little short real quick. What's going on, y'all? We're on our pressure washing job today, cleaning this building. I wanted to show y'all guys this giant hill right here. So we're in Florida, so we're not used to hills, but we're in Claremont working today, which is like the hilliest part of Florida. And it is crazy. I don't know if it's picking it up on camera, but this has to be like almost 100-foot drop down there, at least. So something I just thought I'd show y'all. Florida boy stuff, not used to those hills. Barely even seen mountains or snow, man, but found me a hill, baby. Okay, let's get this. I try and get myself out of the photo, so you see my shadows right there. I try and get it to where we're not picking up that shadow. Just makes for better photos when it comes to being unprofessional. Okay, let's see what else. Gotta get the bench area over here. I'm just glad this place isn't too dirty. This is our first time cleaning this one. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't show up before we quoted it. This is a client we've done a lot of business for. So I just said yes to the job. She just asked if I could clean it. She didn't ask me a price or anything. So we just kind of agreed to get it done. But it's not too big of a job. It's smaller compared to the jobs that they usually have. This specific company manages a bunch of like medical complexes, and this one is Orlando Health, which is like our big local hospital. Trying to learn how to get better angles. Like, this is a cool angle. Okay. So, anything else we want to get? I think that's good. Let's get a video really quick. Maybe like this. Right here. Let's get one walking. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's check these steps too. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, see, they're pretty clean already. Nice, nice, nice. We'll see how our tank is doing. Let's get one. I think we already got a photo like this, but we'll do one more of us working with it. Photo, trucks in it, dirty sidewalks. Cool. All right, y'all. So now let's run our high pressure hose down the length of this building. Make sure we are able to reach what we want to reach here, which I'm gonna go on the far side of this tree, and then we're just gonna walk this hose down. I want to start getting more camera angles. I was thinking about getting another GoPro or getting some sort of other camera. Come on. Almost there. Okay. So we made it to the length down here. Now my question is, how much extra hose do we have? Because I don't know if we'll be able to reach it all the way down here. I've already made the game plan that one, I have an extra hose length if I need it, but also if I need to pack up, I can. But I think we'll be okay. Looks like we'll have an extra bit. Okay. And I always like to keep like one length on here, just so that the tension of the hose isn't on this fitting, it's on the like real spread out itself or whatever. I don't know how you want to say that, but yeah. Okay, so let's get our surface cleaner. Surface cleaner. And we need to put out our cones. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Got the surface cleaner. The only other thing, was this never locked? No way. See guys, this is why I always keep my hoses tucked down in here, because this was unlocked. I don't think I unlocked it today, so it would have been unlocked on the trailer. But yeah, I could have unreeled, especially if this was like hanging down here. So good thing I tucked it in. I was gonna go live yesterday and fix this, but I'll just have to go live sometimes this week. But I want to go live and show you guys me repairing some of these hoses, because this one is kinked right here. I don't know if you can tell, but I've been struggling to get some pull from this hose and this hose, because they're starting to kink right here and right here, and I think it's just wear and the sun. So what I'm gonna do is replace those, but I should be fine for today to do it. But I want to go live and do that. I think I was gonna go live and do some trailer maintenance for y'all. Let's see how this is going. Okay, we're 17 minutes in and we're almost ready. As you can see, the tank, I need to put out the cones, but the tank is almost full. So we'll keep monitoring that as we work, because like I said, this flow might get to the point where it's forcing water into my tank even though it's full, and we don't want that. So I might just come back and forth and cut it off and stuff like that. Okay, and I'm good with that. I just need to get some water. I thought about going live while I do the prep on this job for y'all, but I didn't end up doing that. But if that's something that y'all would be interested in me doing, just like live before the job or whatever, and just kind of show y'all me prepping and everything, then that way I could still kind of tease the video itself and not show you the actual job itself, but I could show you the tease build up for the video that would be coming out, you know. So on the live you would be able to see me and like what content I'm working on next. But yeah, basically we have our little camera equipment here. I talked about it in another video, but extra battery, we got mic, extra batteries, extra charging capabilities. Then we got the headphones and then the camera batteries. And then my breakfast was a Fairlife today. And then we've got an electrolyte and we have a water. So we're good to go. And I think I'm comfortable to go ahead and get started on this. So what I'm gonna do is start by walking this. Yeah, I'm just gonna get started. There's not much prep work really when it comes to the hose and work and all that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna start this engine and let's get going, boys. And I'll tell you what time the camera is. So it's 10 o'clock on the dot. Let's try and get this job done in, I would say about 2.5, 3 hours is the goal here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started right at 10. Remind me to check the time, y'all. Okay, engine is on, water is flowing. We got our surface cleaner here. We are ready to get going. Like I said, this ain't rocket science or anything, so should be pretty straightforward. I'm gonna clean out some of these lines real quick where I'm gonna be cleaning, and then we'll walk back down to this edge and get started. But basically, let's get all this. Get this concrete nice and wet. And then, like I said, I want to clean out these edges. And we don't want to push anything too crazy, because I'm not trying to dirty up We're not trying to dirty up the parking lot either. We're mostly just trying to clean up. Like I said, without we'll come back to you about the little push broom. closed now. Okay, y'all. Let's get a photo like this real quick because it is dirty. Let's see if we can get some sort of cool shot within the camera. Make sure I keep y'all's lenses wiped too. But I just want to get a photo of this while it's wet because it always pops a little more. That's wet. Okay. Alright, I'm ready to surface clean, and we'll surface clean down to where the truck is, and then we'll rinse this and we'll keep moving on. So let's go ahead and get going here. Alright, y'all. Y'all ready? Isn't adjusted right. It needs to be in the front end over here. I turned this power on the pressure washer all the way up, so. Now, I'm gonna get this hose out of my way because it's just getting in my way right now. Okay. That's what a swivel's good for. Otherwise you wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm gonna nip something here. I need to turn the power of my pressure washer down. The flow right now is too heavy, and the weight that I have on the front end of the surface cleaner just isn't enough. I thought I have like another weight, which I might, but basically the pressure is too heavy on the surface cleaner right now. So I need something heavier to weigh it down, but nothing too heavy, you know. So I was thinking, I want something that can get wet, but I don't know where that other weight is. Use my extra hose. This will be able to just sit on top of the surface cleaner a lot easier. So I think I'll just be able to connect this or disconnect the one thing and pop this in. Okay, there. Hopefully. Maybe. The only thing is, am I going to be able to lift it up now? Oh yeah, I'm good. So what I think I'll do now is I'm honestly gonna rinse this and take care of that real quick. That way I don't have to stress myself about it, but then I can contemplate if I want to keep riding with this hose on here. I can just turn the pressure down of the pressure washer, but I never do max flow really because of that exact reason. It just is too strong. I need to just get a little heavier weight. Like that's all I really need to do, but let's rinse this. Okay, so we'll keep going. What we need to do is move this garbage can. Get behind here. And then I want to pull this hose so it's not everywhere. Once we get this flow up, we'll be good. Just haven't gotten a good flow going yet because I was trying something new with my pressure washer. And I should just be doing what I know I can do. I'm gonna crank it down just a hair, just so it doesn't. And that flow is too high. Like I said, I just need to get a bigger surface head thing. Or, what do you call this? Like a weight. We're doing good though. Looks good. It's another reason I wouldn't pre-treat this is just because it's not that dirty and you're gonna save a lot on product. So you might be able to increase your work speed just like a hair, but you're not wasting product as much if you're just able to surface clean without pre-treating. This concrete's just not dirty enough to even need to worry about it, so. But we have that extra length of hose in case it doesn't reach on this far end over here when we go to do that. But we should be good right here to handle all this. So, I turned the water down. And now we just gotta hit this area. And this little area. Turn it on. finish that part up. So now what I want to do is rinse all this, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my hose where I want it. You see all that red that comes off of here from that? It's grody, man. to do is take what I've got here, move it now that we've got it pretty rinsed. Let this hose work with us, not against us. Okay. Bada boom. Bada boom. Now we should be able to keep going, no problem. Oh, let's do our thing. Let's cut our thing in. We haven't cut this in yet. Okay. We double check this one, eh? Okay, we're ready for this side. Okay. Yoki, yoki. So what we'll have to do is rinse this down. Let's just pull our hose and pray G. Otherwise we have this extra length. But I'm praying that this will reach. We won't have to worry about that. But basically I need to pull as much as I can. It's gonna be close. Okay, so that's what we got to work with. So let's pray to make it all the way down here. Let's try. boys. Gotta get low. Look at this, boys. I just noticed that. What I think I'll do is see how easy it is to move it with my foot. I might be able to just shove it with our feet. There's just so much extra mulch. We're not expected to do this, by the way. Like, especially when it's like this. A little excessive overgrowth. They're losing like 7-8 inches of sidewalk with all this mulching. Here. Okay. It's a little better. Let's move all this down. And always wash our hands too, so. Can't be afraid to get dirty. I hate fucking digging in this dirt though. Come on, look at all this mulch that we would be throwing down, you know? Better. It ain't the best though. And then same with this, like. I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to get all this mulch out of here. Okay, I'll go with that. So what we'll do is we'll rinse it out real quick. This will give us time to let that water catch up on my tank too. says assist physician. Dang, fancy parking. Okay, so let's finish up real quick. Finish surface cleaning these areas, and then we'll worry about getting a nice rinse on this side, and then we'll be ready to post treat everything. Let's get a rinse on this stuff. Okay, boys. So, I think we're done with the surface cleaning. Bada bing, bada boom. Killing it, y'all. We're killing it. So we just need to do a solid rinse now on all this right here. And then we need to start the Pro Street. So let's get a solid rinse, and then we'll post treat, and then we will rinse the grass, and then we will I need to check the battery for y'all. 6%. Oh no. Good thing I checked though. We'll actually change this battery first. I'll drink some water and then we'll go ahead and keep going. Okay, water and change the battery. Alright, 1 second, y'all. This thing recording. Okay, we just had to change the batteries. Where we're at is rinse everything. We just finished surface cleaning it all. We need to rinse everything. We need to hit this edge on both sides. And then we need to post treat the concrete. So, what I'm gonna do is slowly rinse everything. I'll start up here. Only thing I need to do. Let's clean up. Let's rinse one more time over here. With that, I think I'll do this at the end with the wand thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ready to post street now. Oh no, I didn't rinse this side. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? We gotta rinse this real quick. Okay, just need to pull a little bit more hose. I'm struggling to get this over here. Okay, this should be plenty. Okay. So now, like I said, let's post streets. That'll give me time to let that the water fill back up in this tank. start down there and work our way up, or we'll start where we were at? Let's just start where we were over here. We're familiar. The grass is already kind of wet. What? Did I not turn it on? Now we'll turn it on. What? Don't tell me my puppet's dead. See why this soft flash pump ain't working. Okay, that was off. That is on. I think it's just dead. I think I might have killed it. Let's see if we can see. Oh, there we go. Figured it out. Yay! Okay, we have life. I'll let that pressure washer take a little break for a second while I do this, and then we'll come in with the other. The thing must have got unplugged or something. I don't know what that was, but I mean, nervous. I thought I was about to have to replace my pump just to clean this property, which would not have been ideal because expensive. That's why, because it's expensive. I'm just trying to pull out all this hose right now. That's why I'm walking it this way. Once I'm comfortable with how much we've pulled, this should be enough. Then we'll pull it back this way. I'm just trying to draw chemical through this line as well, so that's where we're at. Okay, so we should start to see chemical. Nice, perfect timing. And now we're just gonna post treat all this concrete that we just hit, and that's so that we can get up any of these lines that we see that might have been left from surface cleaning. This post treat will help get those up, and then we'll come back through, we'll rinse all this grass down. And the doctors will be happy, I'll be happy, manager will be happy, and we can go home. Just making sure I really hit these mulch areas in case there's any concrete underneath that didn't get lifted in the initial clean. And then same, I'm gonna push all this up under there with this. And I'm trying to avoid filling this window as best we can. Like I said, we're going to come back through and rinse all this down, or at least the trying to avoid spraying these benches as best I can too. We're getting there, boys. Nice little post treat. Remove any of the remaining stains. Man, if I could just clean concrete and stuff like this all the time, that's what I'd love to do. For some reason, me and concrete get along. Just funny because my mom owns a foundation company, and that's all they do is concrete all day long. But they pour it, I clean it. Like I said, I'm gonna come back through here and rinse down this grass, and then we'll move to the next area. That way we're not letting all this sit too long without treating it. Without taking care of rinsing. Okay. Do this in here. Post tree. Never know when I'm gonna go post tree. Pray to make it back in one piece. Same thing with this. I'm gonna drag it down. Okay. We'll just let this for now. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. Okay, so we'll open it back up, and what I want to do is rinse down the grass, and then I also want to do this pump. Okay, here we go. want to hit these curbs too, actually. Now that I see them. That we're just gonna treat this. Let's finish up the grass real quick and then we're gonna do a rinse down. So, rinse y'all real quick, got you soaked. I was thinking I didn't hit this other parking lot thing, I don't think. Whew. Well, I'm gonna rudder it like this as I can't reach. We're just trying to soak this grass where we kind of sprayed at. That way we're protecting the property. And same with the window and the door over here. Just added property protection because we post-treated. See, in my opinion, if I pre-treated, I pushed all of it into the grass. And then the grass has been sitting with bleach in it. The grass has barely even got any bleach on it because we've only post-treated. So that's one of my main reasons for being the way I am. I'm going to hit that. And I want to hit the bench. Okay. Satisfied with that. And I think I want to come treat this parking lot stuff and that right over here. Okay, and I'm good with this. I'm good with that. There's not any grass over here. We're gonna push all this into the storm drain area though. But yeah, let's just hit this one more time. That way, in case we got any overspray, everything is soaked down nice. See how good this looks? That's even without a post street too. But yeah, getting satisfied here. Just double protecting the grass. And like I said, I want to rinse down that area. And then we'll call it on that side. Okay, I'm good on this. Okay. Satisfied with that. So, all I want to do now is let me get that fan tip and let's push a lot of this down into the storm drain, or down to the where the drain line is. I don't know if you'd actually call it the storm drain, but basically where the water flows, the low line point. That way we can run all this stuff that we've collected down in there. Okay, you see that? I'm trying to move it down, so what I'm gonna do is use a stronger tip. Like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just the bulk of it. Okay, I'm good with that. Okay, hopefully y'all are good with that. The only thing I want to do is pull a little more. This is what I mean. What's he caught on? See, it tangles in his seal. Look at that. That's wrong. All I wanted to do is good with that actually. All we gotta do now is let's push this mulch. How do we want to push it, y'all? Okay. Let me hit this a little bit more. What I'm gonna do is just push I'm trying to push this into where it all flows down this path. And then we're pretty much just need to go do the same thing over there. This doesn't have to be perfect either, just kind of trying to make it look nice. Okay. I'm good with that. We're good with that. Daddy's fine. Okay. Now, y'all. Now, let's go over here, y'all. A what I'm gonna do now is same thing. Pull this over here. Okay. So, now, let's pull this. Now we got the blue by itself. And we just need to pull this gray. Boom bop bing bop boom bop bang, y'all. Type of amount. You wouldn't understand. I wanna hit that square level of that stairs. They're not paying us for the stairs, but you always want to do that extra 5 minutes we all talk about. We'll just go a long way. So what I'm gonna do here is trying to get this gray hose down to where I can rinse nicely. I'm gonna hit this grass first because it's dried. The other grass was wet from surface cleaning, so I just want to moisten up this grass before we go too deep into it. Just wetting this grass. Like I said, this parking lot part is more preference than anything. You don't have to be perfect. Okay. Let's do this grass one more time. Back where she was. Heavy. The thing is heavy. Okay, so pull this here for now. What I want to do is post treat, and then I'm gonna rinse this down real quick, and I'm gonna hit the grass again on this side, and then we'll take photos, see how we're looking. But for now, I'm just gonna pull that out of the way. Like I said, let's post treat. Okay. How are we looking on time so far? It's 12:05, so we've been on the engine for 2 hours. Just good, because we said we wanted to be in and out in about 3. So we're looking like we're right on schedule. I want to hit that parking stopper. Parking stopper. And we'll pull her down here and work our way back. I'm getting hungry, y'all. There's actually a ton of good places to eat around here. We're in like a city that's fairly new to Orlando, so there's a lot of good little eateries, new places and stuff like that that aren't on our neck of the woods. We're just making sure to get a nice coat on here, and then what we're gonna do is hit all these. Like I said, rinse the parking lot right there in those 2 spots. There's 2 spots I want to hit, and then I want to come back through and do a big rinse. The grass one more time, and then it should be pretty good. Oh yeah, I wanted to hit that one part of that staircase. So it's done. This is just to prolong the concrete, or the growth, whatever I'm trying to say. Can't think right now. Stop the algae from growing as easily. It'll kill all that stuff. Don't let me forget, I wanted to do this to that other curve too. Okay, so now we will probably turn the key off to the water, rinse down the grass one more time, rinse that parking lot, switch this to water, and like I said, I just want to hit the top of that one, which we just need to get this free. Oh, and I need to hit this. I didn't hit none of that. So we'll hit that. And then, like I said, the other spots. These parking lot stops get me every time, man. Get hung up on these. We're getting there, y'all. Let me check the battery. Got a little bit left. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna hit this spot real quick that we didn't hit. Okay, and then I want to hit the top of that stair. Come back and rinse these stairs right here. They're not paying us for those parts, but I figure we could get that clean at least. And then let's hit this curb real quick. Okay, I'll hit this curb. Oh yeah. Okay. So now take this last little okay, nice. And you'll see it's just water now. So we're just gonna rinse this pump out. Cut that water off. Okay, so now this is just going to be pulling water, and we're just using it to rinse. Okay. So this is just pulling water, and it's rinsing out our pump. So we'll pull all the blue hose this way now, keep it out of our way. So we'll let that be for now. Just like that. Now what I want to do is rinse the concrete right here. I want that to go somewhere. I want it to go somewhere. There's a storm drain right here, so that's where we're gonna put it. Getting low on the camera again. I'm almost done here. It ain't gonna be perfect, but it'll be way better. Talk about the parking lot. The concrete is freaking pristine. Look at that. I'm pretty satisfied with that. The last few things I want to do are just move this brick or anything that's gotten kicked up out of the way. I want to get this mulch finished. Let's change y'all's battery real quick. And I'm gonna cut this water off because you should almost be done. So let's cut our water off. Okay. There we go. Okay, water is off. So that's a big step in the right direction. Okay. So let's change y'all's battery. That's what I was doing. Change this battery. I need to get a leaf blower, y'all. If I could get a high-powered leaf blower, make a lot of this a little easier. Because I still want to rinse this down. And then, did I say change y'all's battery? Get some water real quick. Oh man. Okay. So, last few things I want to do. I want to rinse the grass one last time. And then that parking lot over there. Okay. And then this grass over here. Just walk it back with me. Now there's those stairs, my window. Grass around this curve. Go hit this curve. The curve in the window. Oh. Okay. So let's just hit this grass. See if we can blast this at all. Hip drive, hip drive. Okay, that's better. Okay. So I think we're good with this. We just need to Okay, that looks good, right, y'all? We're good with that. Parking lot's pretty clean. Not too much dirt. I'm gonna clean this up just a hair bit more over here, but let me rinse that window. Double check that I got this window over here. I think I did. I think I'm good with that. Oh yeah. Forgot this. This part right here got kicked up a bunch. Okay, cool. Cool. Let that keep drying just for a hair while we pack up. And then we'll get photos once we're done packing up here. Last thing I want to do. Alright, that's it, y'all. We're out of water. Call it on that. Low and dry, as you can do. I don't want to run my thing without it. So, we'll cut this off because it's done as well. And we only use I think I had the bleach up to here. Which is... the hell, this is liters. Oh, okay, here we go, gallons. It looks like we use about 10 to 15 gallons. So in case y'all were wondering how much bleach we use, so 10 to 15, let's say 15 on the... oh no, I emptied it so low that it doesn't even have any. So what we'll do is we'll use this. Let this get wet. Okay. So let's start with the hard one. Can't believe I let it get that low. I didn't want it to get that low, to be honest, water-wise. Now my rag ain't wet. I like to get a wet rag. I don't even know how that happens. We're getting there. Whew. It's always a workout. Okay. Trying to get my rag right with this extra water in the line. Okay, so that's one reel down. I'll put that away. Let's do the garden hose next. Whew. It's a workout. Okay, time for the blue hose. Whew. I'm out of breath. Okay, that's the blue hose. So, put our surface cleaner up, and then we'll go get some photos. Huh. I am gassed. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do, I'll put some soap in my hands because I don't got no water in my tank. I'll come over here, wash my hands on the water. A little less pressure. Okay. Get our arms rinsed down, no overspray on us. I'm gonna rinse y'all's camera lens. Okay. Okay, so let's get some photos now. It's 12:43, so it hadn't even been 3 hours. Well, we started, it's been exactly 3 hours, I think. So that's perfect. That's how long we quoted it to take us. And that's how long it's taken us, so that's all we can ask for. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's just flip through our photos real quick. That way we can know what we need to take. Okay. We're just studying ourselves. Okay. On this side I need one from here, one one like that. Got it. Got it. Okay. So we need one like this. And one like this. One like this. Let's go on just around this. Same with this. You take more than enough before and after photos. That way you got a selection to choose from. And you're not like, dang, I didn't get this or that. Because you did. You got every possible angle, you know? I want to get one from this way. And same with this. Let's do a 0.5 like this. Just step back a little bit. I like that one. I like that shot. Okay. And then one down this way. Like this. And a regular one. Let's get it above that shadow. Let's get our truck in it. Okay. Same thing over here. I want to see what the videos look like. I can double check that I got the right ones. Boom. Boom. We're going down here. Okay. And then one in the grass. 0.5 on the corner. This looks so much better. Okay. Something like this. See, what we do is we'll put these all in a Google Drive, and then we'll give access to the property manager. It's like a photo album on Google Drive, and you can give permission. So that's how we'll send all these photos. That way we're not having to worry about if we captured enough, or you know what I'm saying. Like, we capture too many, but then it's a hard time sending them sometimes. So what to do is make that Google Drive. This looks so much better though. Okay, I need one up this way, one of the parking stuff. The only thing that I would say I could have done a little better on is figuring out how to deal with all this extra sand. Like, I could have at least cleared this path, because this is where people would be walking, but we rinsed it way down. It's not up at the where people would be getting out of their car. It's going to be where the water's running, so that's all we can do. Let's get one of this area. And we want one this way. And then I just need to look at my video. Perfect. Okay. And let's get one faced like this way. This. Cool. Nice, y'all, nice. Okay, so let's watch our videos really quick and see which one we need to take again. Can't see. Okay, here we go. So I'm on the corner over here, and I do a snap transition, and then I walk down this. Okay. Okay, just trying to see what we did. So now we can recreate it. I'll take a step back. Okay, so that's that. Let me just sign off on my snap, and then I'll end the camera with y'all here in a second. Don't leave me now. I ain't done with you yet. Alright. What's going on, everybody? Just finished up cleaning this. What's going on, everybody? Just finished cleaning the sidewalks around this building. If you're interested in the full process, I went ahead and filmed it, and I'll link it down below. But let me know in the comments what you think about cleaning commercial properties and what you would and wouldn't do or recommend for somebody just getting out and started in the pressure washing business when it comes to commercial properties. Is it something that you think they could jump into right away? Or do you think that it's something that takes a few years of experience before you should try and tackle something like this? I did this job by myself. I started with commercial work and here I am still doing it. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but I mean, it's cleaning sidewalks, man. It ain't rocket science, you know what I'm saying? Everything looks nice and clean. Parking lot is rinsed down. Truck is packed up now, and I'm about to sign out on the GoPro for everybody that watches the long forms. But if you're catching me on this short, go ahead and check out my channel because I have a ton of pressure washing content on there, and I'd love to build a community around that. And I hope to catch you on the next job, everybody. Peace. That was pretty good. It was from the heart. Don't make fun of me. I'm trying to get better at it, you know? It's a work in progress. I'm gonna put this back in this, put the pressure washing key away, and then I'm gonna sign out with y'all real quick, and then we are done. The gas can in here is abandoned. Get some of that out. Oh geez, I didn't know it was gonna freaking shoot gas up in my car. God dang it. I should have done that out here. Now my car gonna smell like gas. Whatever. Okay. See if I got a rag or something I can wipe that with. No, but I got a glove. I cannot believe that. Okay. All right, everybody. If you're here still, I appreciate you. You just witnessed me clean this building by myself. Well, not the building. We cleaned the sidewalks all the way around here. Just finished post-treating and just packed up. Everything came out good. I hope that you found some benefit in watching this full process. If not, just enjoy for the ASMR cleaning. We have a couple more commercial jobs on the books, so hopefully you guys enjoy these longer videos. This one took I think about 3 hours or so. It'll be its own video that I'll put out on the channel in the next coming weeks. But as you can see, everything came out good. I'm satisfied. I'm starving. I'm thirsty, but we're about to get paid, so I'm happy. Well, we'll get paid in about 30 days, but we have write the invoice up, send these photos out, and we'll be good to go. So I appreciate y'all joining. Let me know what you liked and didn't like about this video or what you would do different, and catch me on the next job, everybody. Peace.